Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to talk about a video that was posted on the official Marvel Future Fight YouTube channel, not this channel, not our channel. Our channel is the unofficial Marvel Future Fight channel. This one has a little check mark, and it's called Marvel Future Fight, and it's got the little logo. Anywho, and they also have more subscribers than we do. Anywho, they posted a video on April 22nd, so it's a bit of ways now, 4, 5, 6 days, 4 days. And they basically did a interesting sort of two-host back and forth, and sort of like a summary news update type thing. They answered some questions from the community. It's a really well done video. It's almost 9 minutes long, so it's not like a little snippet. It's not someone drawing in hyper speed. It's a well produced video with actually a lot of information packed into it. So I strongly encourage you to watch the video. Now it is in Korean. Marvel Future Fight, that Marvel monster made by a Korean company in Korea, yes, but there are good enough, there's suitable English subtitles that you just activate on YouTube, and they do a good enough job of explaining what they're saying. There's a few errors in the auto translation, but that's okay, it's not the end of the world. And yeah, there's some nice music. Like I said, it's really well produced. But what I want to do is I don't want to play the full video because, for one, you got YouTube copyright issues. But I want to sort of fast forward to specific frames and scenes and talk about what's going on there, because it's pretty interesting for the one hand, and for the second hand, it may have some clues as to upcoming content in Marvel Future Fight. But before we get into that,
라이온신 에스카노르 사마다 그루에르스.
So let's go ahead and now go through this video. We're not going to do a full reaction to the video, but as you can see, it's like I said, very well produced.
일요일 오후 같은 사람 MC 썬데이입니다.
You got MC, this guy MC Sunday and MC Monday, I believe. And they're really good. They speak well. They have lapel microphones. You can hear them clearly. There's no audio issues. They seem charming, and they seem to know the game that they're talking about. It's all really good. So they do a little bit of an intro talking about the new update, which is pretty normal. They talk about Black Widow, Yelena, and Red Guardian, and then they go into some other things where they basically have to turn on the subtitles, actually, where they basically answer 4 different things. So they're going to talk about squad battle. They're going to talk about world boss in the video. They're going to talk about character reworks, which is pretty crazy. And then the last one is community management. When have you seen Marvel Future Fight make a 9-minute video where they talk about squad battle, character reworks, and community management? We know they have a hard-on for World Boss, but this is wild. This blew me away. And so some of you may now understand a little bit better why I had more optimism for the update. Now, part of that was the update going live and seeing how many people reached out to me saying, man, I love this new change, I love this new feature, I love these new characters, I love the rework to Black Widow, etc. That really helped bring me up rather than people complaining about things. There were a lot more positives than negatives, and that really affects my mood in a good way. But also something like this, they're putting the effort in, they're putting the money in and the time in to pay these people, to pay a camera crew, to pay an editor, right? This is pretty well edited, I have to say. Better than the editing I do, and there's all sorts of things here. There's cute little sound effects and stuff. It's very high quality, polished Korean editing. So the first thing they talk about, so this is Reporter Monday. He actually goes to a different place. He goes to a different part of the studio to record these questions as they go back and forth between CM Sunday and CM Monday. So that's pretty hilarious. So they first talk about squad battle, and they basically explain the game mode. And they explained that some players have said that it's too difficult. So they have a little interesting 2-sentence clip here where they say it's very difficult to reach scores over 800,000 due to other hindering gimmicks. But then the very next sentence, CM Monday decides to say, as the 5th anniversary draws near, there are a lot of skilled players in Marvel Future Fight. So which one is it? Is it that it's really hard, or is it we have a lot of skilled players? Because it really can't be both of those things, right? I mean, it can sort of be both of those things, but not really. The truth is, it's not that hard to hit 800,000. You don't need a crazy build. You don't need crazy cards and stuff. You do need to have a pretty well-built account, because the character bonus for having more tier 3s and having more awakened characters, that will bump up your score by a lot. But And of course, you can't bring level 60 characters in. You have to bring level 70 or tier 3 characters. But squad battle, I would say, on average, is easier than Alliance Battle Extreme. Especially when you consider that in Alliance Battle Extreme, you have players going all the way up to 7 million points. The gap between the best players and the worst players in squad battle is probably not as large as the gap between the best players and the worst players in Alliance Battle Extreme. Not to mention the fact that the only real gimmick in this game mode is collecting orbs. Moving the joystick to collect the orbs. The gimmick in ABX includes, clearing all of the waves as fast as you can, the Ultron waves, not getting stunned by the gigantic meteors that drop every minute, dodging the beast's attacks, which can bind you, snare you, silence you, blind you, and in some cases, not on every day, but in some cases, actually silencing the beast, putting the silence back on the beast, and interrupting a special defensive maneuver that it does. So, yeah, I don't think squad battle is the best game mode to focus on actual skill. I think ABX by far is the highest skill game mode in Marvel Future Fight. So yeah, I don't think squad battle is too difficult. But the good thing here is they talk about the fact that some players have said that squad battle is too difficult and it's challenging to hit 800,000. And I think it is challenging, but it's more a challenge of time. It's not a challenge of skill as much as it is you just have to build up your account more. It's sort of like saying, oh, hey, I've been playing for 6 months and getting to stage 50 Shadowland is so hard. Sure, it's hard because you'll have to build 50 perfect characters and solo every single stage because you've only been playing for 6 months. But once you play for a year, it suddenly becomes much easier. So it's not really like a mechanical difficulty. It's sort of like a gatekeeping difficulty until you can build up your roster wide enough for it. But the nice thing is, they said that although we found out that the third round is pretty hard, they said that the third round has also been completed by many players. So many players are getting to the last round and scoring 800,000 points. So then they said it's best to wait. They say this in the video. We think it's best, and I mean, we have to assume that this is sort of what the developers are thinking. These guys are not just going on their own and talking by themselves. They have some sort of connection. Who knows? They probably work at Netmarble Monster in some capacity. So these are not just two guys who made a YouTube channel. This is the official Netmarble Monster Marvel Future Fight YouTube channel. So they said, we think it's best to wait this third round, like wait to balance it, and they want the agents to keep trying. So this is really good. This is what we want, right? We don't want them to have knee-jerk reactions to content that may be a little bit challenging now and then make it too easy. And then we have a situation in the future where they say, oh, well, it's been a year, but now it's way too easy, a la World Boss. Now we have to change it and make it super hard, right? We don't want that. It's better for it to be hard now and be fair and be kind of, where it is, and that's your goal, and then you work up to it, rather than it being hard and then it comes down to easy, and then you're like, oh, I can do it now, and then later on they have to move it back up and have it hard again. You don't want the carrot to constantly be moving. You want it to just be like, okay, this is the difficulty, figure it out. Obviously, you can't get difficulty right 100% of the time, so sometimes they do need to adjust the difficulty, but in this case, I don't think squad battle is too hard. So I really like their approach to this one. I have to say it's fantastic. They did recognize that Mandalay Gem Fragments had to be added as a daily challenge reward, and actually, you know what? I can go and check my ranking right now because the week is over. I rank 26. Okay, 26th in Vibranium. Not bad at all. I get my 140 Mandalay Gem Fragments. And here is the only disappointing thing about the Mandalay Gem Fragments, or not the Mandalay Gem Fragments, but Squad Battle. The only disappointing thing is the requirements have not changed. So the requirements appear to be exactly the same. It's Universal Supervillain Hero here. It is Universal Hero Male Human here. So I would really love to see, maybe not every week, but every 2 weeks, they should rotate the requirements and the restrictions so that players don't get bored. Because trust me, after a couple months of this, you're going to get super bored of doing the exact same thing for 6 stages every single week, right? It's like if I only let you play against Proxima for months, you would go insane. Exactly. So yeah, so it's good to see that they recognize the difficulty of squad battle is there. It is a bit of a challenging game mode, but it's the right kind of challenging. It's not some kind of BS challenge, and it's not some kind of challenge where you just have to throw money at the problem. I mean, you could throw money at any problem in a mobile game, but it's not really that type of thing, whereas in ABX, you have to be swapping CTP, swapping Odin's Blessings, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, ABX is a big mess. We'll talk about that later. So yeah. They talk about the World Boss Striker changes. They also apologize in the video for, I can't remember exactly what they apologize for It may be for the the back and forth with World Boss. So it's nice to see that not only do they recognize that the difficulty increased too much, the difficulty went down too much with the striker changes, but then when they tried that secret Empire change 2 updates ago, the difficulty went up too high. So they went too low and then they went too high. So they had to find sort of a common middle ground. So they apologize, which is really nice. Not a lot of game developers apologize. That's really, really good to see. So they talk more about the strikers and the resistance feature as it tied to the Conqueror level, I believe. And then we have practice mode. They're sort of advertising practice modes and things like that. And then they talk about character improvements. And this is the biggie. This is the biggie here. So I do want to play a little clip here. Many suggestions have been made about tier 3 upgrades for certain heroes and reworks for underperforming heroes. So, we make these videos all the time. I want Hulk tier 3, you want Ghost Rider tier 3, Ultron tier 3, Odin, Dormammu, Adam Warlock tier 3. And we also talk about, reworks. We need more reworks for more bad characters. So they do address this with CM Sunday asking CM Monday, what's going to happen? And look at this. There's a lot of users who feel sad as their loved characters are weak in the game. Yes, but look who they're using for the video to showcase the skill. So not only do they know that we think Dormammu is trash and he needs to be better, they also feature Odin, but this could be a serious hint that they will be reworking these characters. Now, they don't promise directly to rework these characters, but they're talking about reworks and they're showing characters that need reworks. That's pretty much smoke, and that usually leads to fire, in my opinion. Again, I don't want to get your hopes up too much, but they also feature Ghost Rider, so they're really on the nose. If they showed like Sharon Rogers and then they showed like Negasonic Teenage Warhead, characters who are either really good and constantly getting reworks, or characters who are just like pretty good and don't need reworks, then you would sort of get the impression that they're out of touch, that they didn't really pay much attention to this, that they didn't really want to leave any Easter eggs for us. But the fact that they went ahead and did this and put this extra effort in is a good sign, in my opinion. So the only bad thing is, there is a bad thing. They say, there must be a few heroes that every agent wants to see reworked. Sure, we all have a favorite character that we want to be powerful. But then they hit us with what I think is a bit of BS. So they say there's 216 characters in Marvel Future Fight. It's actually 218 characters now, sure. Just in case you're wondering, about 60 to 70% of those characters need reworks. So 2/3 is usually the answer that I give. 2/3 of the roster needs to be reworked. 2/3 of the roster is basically unusable aside from lower level Shadowland. I'm talking like stage 50 and under, or for their leaderships, passives, or team up effects. But otherwise, they're basically useless, and they certainly cannot solo content that you wouldn't solo as a new player, right? If you're an intermediate veteran player, you would never use these characters for solo content unless you're trying to torture yourself, or you're making some kind of goofy ass YouTube video where you give Drax a CTP of rage. But no one would do that because you have to be a lunatic to do that. So they say there's lots of characters in the game, yada yada yada, and then they say, what do they say here? Okay, yeah, so this is the BS here. We would like to do reworks more often, but it's no simple task. That's not true at all. That is just simply not true. You have to not say that, because that's not true. It's not that hard. It is simple to rework characters. And we know that it's simple for you to rework characters because we've seen it, right? We've seen one update after another where a character gets a rework, and in the very next update, another character gets a rework. So you're clearly able to rework multiple characters per update. You reworked 10 characters for Endgame, and you reworked, what, 20 characters for Infinity War? So right there, in 2 updates, in the span of 1 year, you guys reworked 30 characters. Wow, I'm so proud of you. You reworked 1/7 of the roster. There you go, it's so easy. Not to mention the fact that when you release new characters or when you release new uniforms and we don't buy them and you don't make money, you guys are very quick to figure out how to rework those characters. I have tons of examples because I've been playing this game for 5 years. You guys released Kid Kaiju, Kid Kaiju's uniform, and it was underselling and no one was buying it. So you guys said, "Oh, we're gonna rework Kid Kaiju's uniform." And the very next update, they reworked Kid Kaiju's uniform and they made him even stronger. And they've done this several times with several different characters and several different uniforms. They very rarely nerf characters. but they tend to focus very closely on buffing characters, especially when they're trying to sell their uniforms and sell other content related to those characters. So it is, without a doubt, in my mind, this is a BS answer. You can easily rework 2 or 3 characters every single update, but you choose not to because you don't think it's going to make you as much money as you want it to make you. That is truly the answer. It is a simple task. I could easily rework 5 characters in 60 seconds by just giving them a couple of iframes on existing skills. I mean, there are characters in the game now who have skills where they vault, so just add in an iframe or slap on 5 seconds of immunity. It's really not that hard. Now, if you're talking about, you know, if they're referring to reworks like, you know, Vision top to bottom, or Rogue top to bottom reworks where they want to make cinematic skills with multiple characters jumping in and all this stuff, if you're talking about that, okay, maybe we can sort of understand. But then you need to give us more context to this answer. You can't just say, oh, we want to do reworks, but it's not easy. You can't just say it like that, right? You have to give a little bit more information about why it's not easy. So then they say, we've been updating at least once a year based on agent surveys. Bro, you cannot, guys, once a year? You are a gigantic company making millions of dollars. Netmarble is worth billions of dollars, okay? They can't hire another developer to work. I'm sure you can at least double or triple that number. 1 character a year is an absolute joke for a game that is Marvel. That's like Marvel saying, hey guys, we're gonna release 1 new comic a year. Get out of my face. This is just complete BS. Don't blow smoke. Don't blow smoke. Okay, I don't like this. This is just so BS. And then they do give us a clue here that during the 5th year anniversary, they're going to hold a survey about character reworks. So we're going to be getting another survey. I hope that it's not just a survey where we vote for 1 character, because I sorely believe that we need like a dozen characters reworked this year. So we need a survey where the ultimate result is that 12 characters get chosen, you know? So Odin, Dormammu, Adam Warlock, Daredevil, like all of those characters, not just 1. Okay, it's not the worst of the worst that gets updated. So then they said, strong characters in Marvel Future Fight have been receiving uniforms and not many characters have been updated. Yes, that's true. Like how you clowns keep giving Captain America a uniform every update, and you give Sharon Rogers a uniform every other update, but you've never given Odin or Dormammu or Adam Warlock a uniform. You've never given Singularity a uniform. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's exactly like that. At least you guys know, and you are, you know, you have the balls to say it. So I'm happy to see this, that they're actually owning it and actually saying it. Starting from the 5th anniversary, we will try our best to prepare updates for heroes that need more uniforms. This actually makes me really happy. And again, you can get really cynical and think that they're not gonna do what they said. And we have had situations where we were misled. You know, Cage saying that the squad battle rewards are not finalized, and that's not true. And others, you know, instances like that of miscommunication and sort of letdowns and stuff like that. We've definitely seen that before for Marvel Future Fight, but I have to hope, I have to be optimistic, because they are saying it, and they did make a video, and they did write a script, and they followed through on it, right? So this is a pretty meaningful. Can you move the? Oh my gosh, you can move the subtitles. That's really cool. I don't know. Well, I don't want to. Okay, well, whatever. So yeah, I'm really happy I'm really happy to read that. And I was really happy to see that in this video. So they talk about other things, and they talk about, you know, unlocking potential and, you know, making characters be as strong as possible. They also say that they're going to be opening up the Star Agent program to basically anyone. So I'm not really sure what the goal is there. Maybe they're just trying to push the marketing of the game more. And apparently they said that they're continuously checking the suggestions made by Star Agents and sending suggestions to the relevant departments weekly. Actually, they're not just saying agents, they're saying like all agents. So that includes if you're sending them tickets in the support tab in the game, or you're posting on the forum, or you're posting on Reddit or Twitter or something like that. They're basically saying that they're listening to all of us. You know, I find that hard to believe. There's thousands of posts daily, and there's no way that they could get to all of them. But it's nice to see them actually trying and addressing these things and saying, listen, we know we have a very vocal community, and we're doing our best to listen to your needs and trying to address them. But they do ultimately say that they can't answer all of the feedback, and they can't answer directly to a lot of the demands and questions and suggestions, because then that could show favoritism. Because realistically, they cannot answer everyone. So even if they only answer, 20%, that's a lot, but then the other 80% will feel ignored, and that's worse. So they're playing it safe from more of like a community fairness point of view, and they're like, okay, we're just not going to answer anyone, but just to let you know, we are watching and we are noting things down and sending them to the proper departments. So that's nice to see. I am pretty happy with this video. You can definitely go ahead and watch it. I will leave a link in the description below so you can see for yourself, and you can listen to everything that they're saying. And if you speak Korean, that's even better. You can practice your Korean. But hopefully this is a sign of good things to come, and hopefully this is an indication, at least it is to me, that Marvel Future Fight and the Netmarble Monster team are taking the game more seriously, and they want to approach it with a more serious tone, which should lead to better updates and more, solid content for us moving forward. So let me know what you think of this video. It definitely got me hyped 4 days ago, and actually now re-experiencing it and talking to you guys about it again has reinvigorated me a little bit more. So I'll get to work on the next video ASAP. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.